The human warship carried a silence that felt heavier than its armored hull. A vessel named Resolute, drifting at the edge of a shattered asteroid field. Its systems steady, yet its crew unsettled. Because hours earlier, its long-range scanners had captured something impossible. A signal that did not behave like any known distress call. A pattern that flickered between frequencies as if something alive were trying to speak. Through broken machinery, Captain Elias stood in the command deck. Watching the data scroll, his expression calm, but his thoughts racing. While the crew worked in hushed focus, each aware that the void beyond the hull had changed in ways they did not yet understand. The logs already marked this encounter as unusual. But the deeper truth had not yet revealed itself. The signal had originated from a drifting fragment of a destroyed alien vessel. Its structure unlike anything human engineers had cataloged. Twisted geometry with surfaces that seemed to shift when viewed from different angles. And embedded within that wreckage, the cameras had detected movement. Faint, but unmistakable, a retrieval team had been dispatched, cautious yet curious. Because humanity had learned long ago that the galaxy was not empty. And not always friendly, but also not always hostile. And sometimes what was found in the dark could change everything. The boarding team entered the wreck through a fractured corridor, their suit lights cutting through dust and floating debris. Their voices steady over comes as they described what they saw, though even their trained composure could not hide the unease creeping into their tone inside the alien structure. The air was gone, but something else remained. A strange energy that made instruments flicker and caused the helmet cameras to glitch in short bursts. As if reality itself was struggling to remain stable in that place, then one of them saw her. At first, she appeared as a silhouette, small and motionless against a broken wall. But as the lights adjusted, it became clear that she was human. A young girl in a suit far too advanced for her size, its surface marked with scratches and burn scars. Its systems barely functioning. The moment was captured in the warship logs. Time-stamped and clear for a few seconds before the interference worsened. The cameras stuttering as the team approached cautiously. Unsure if what they were seeing was real or some projection generated by the alien wreck, she moved suddenly. The logs recorded a blur. A shift too fast for normal human reflexes. And then the feed glitched, lines of static tearing across the image. Audio distorting into fragments. Yet within that chaos, one thing remained consistent. The girl was alive and aware. And she was not afraid in the way they expected. The team leader spoke to her, voice calm, identifying themselves as human, offering help, but her response did not come through words. Instead, the logs showed her turning her head slightly, as if listening to something no one else could hear. Then the environment changed. The alien structure reacted. Walls shifting, fragments moving as if guided by an unseen force, sealing off corridors behind the team, isolating them within a chamber that pulsed with dim light. And the girl stepped back into the center of it. Her stance defensive, yet controlled on the warship. The command deck watched in growing tension. Every sensor feeding into the central display. Every anomaly analyzed in real time, yet none of it made sense. The physics readings contradicted themselves. Energy spikes appearing and vanishing without pattern. The logs noted a critical detail at that moment. The girl was cornered. The alien structure had closed around her as much as it had around the human team. Its shifting walls forming a cage that confined them all. And for the first time, the crew understood that whatever was happening was not under their control. The cameras glitched again. More violently now, entire frames dropping. Audio replaced with sharp bursts of noise. But between those distortions, brief glimpses revealed the girl raising her hand. The damaged suit emitting faint pulses of light, then everything stopped for a single second. The logs showed perfect clarity, the chamber frozen. The debris suspended mid-motion. The team unmoving. And the girl standing at the center, eyes focused. Expression calm in a way that did not match her age. That second became the most analyzed frame in human military history because in that instant, the sensors recorded something impossible. A localized distortion of space, not generated by the alien structure, but by the girl herself. The moment ended as abruptly as it began. The cameras failed completely for several seconds, leaving only corrupted data. But when the feed returned, The scene had changed, the chamber was open again, the alien walls had retreated, the debris scattered outward, and the team stood unharmed, but visibly shaken, their vitals elevated. Their movements uncertain as they tried to process what had just occurred. The girl was still there. But no longer cornered, she stood near the breach. Looking out into the void, her posture relaxed, as if the danger had passed. And when the team approached again, this time she did not retreat. She spoke. The audio captured her voice clearly, despite the earlier interference. A simple sentence that carried more weight than any weapon the warship possessed. She said she had been waiting back on the Resolute. Captain Elias ordered immediate extraction, overriding standard protocols. Because whatever they had encountered was beyond routine contact, and every instinct told him that leaving her there was not an option. The team guided her back to their shuttle. The alien wreck silent now, its strange energy fading as if whatever had sustained it had been disrupted. And as they departed, the sensors recorded one final anomaly. The structure collapsing in on itself, without explosion. Vanishing into a point of darkness that left no trace, the girl was brought aboard the warship. Placed under observation, but not confinement. Because nothing about her suggested hostility, only something deeper. Something that defied easy classification. The log's continued medical scans revealed that she was human in every measurable way. Yet her neural activity showed patterns that did not match any known baseline. Her brain operating at levels that exceeded established limits. As if she were processing layers of reality simultaneously when asked where she came from. She gave fragmented answers, speaking of a place that no longer existed. A colony lost beyond mapped space, attacked by forces that the logs struggled to describe because her words did not align with known species or technologies. She described the alien structure as a trap. A containment system designed to hold something dangerous. Something that had already consumed her world, and she described herself as the last survivor. The crew listened, recording every word, every pause, every subtle shift in tone, because they understood that this was no ordinary rescue. This was the beginning of something far larger. Captain Elias reviewed the logs repeatedly, focusing on the moment when the cameras glitched, when the girl had been cornered and reality itself had bent around her. And he came to a conclusion that he did not share immediately. He believed that she was not just a survivor, believed that she was the reason the alien structure had failed days past. And the warship changed course, returning to human space with its unexpected passenger. The logs growing thicker with observations, theories, and unanswered questions, the girl adapted quickly to the ship, learning its layout, interacting with the crew, her demeanor calm but distant, as if part of her remained somewhere else. Watching something beyond their perception, she spent long periods in silence, staring at the stars through reinforced glass, and when asked what she saw, she would simply say that it was not over. The crew began to notice small anomalies around her, systems behaving unpredictably. Sensors picking up fluctuations that could not be traced to any source, yet none of it caused harm. Only unease. The logs documented everything because that was what human warships did. They recorded, they analyzed, they learned, and in those records, a pattern began to emerge every time the anomalies occurred. They coincided with moments when the girl appeared focused, as if responding to something distant. Something approaching. Captain Elias finally spoke to her directly, asking the question that had been building since the moment they found her. What had cornered her in that alien wreck? She looked at him, her expression steady. And for a moment, the weight of her experience seemed far beyond her years. She said it was still coming. The logs ended that entry with a note from the captain. A simple statement that would later be cited in countless briefings and analyzes. Humanity had not just rescued a survivor, it had brought something else aboard, and whatever had once cornered that girl in the dark of a broken alien ship had not been defeated, only delayed.